Hi, my name's Marty from the Newfoundland Electric Bike Company, and I'm here with Pete with Motorino. Pete's going to talk about some of the differences between the classic scooter style e-bikes that we sell and the new platinum ones.
So, of course, torque is at a premium whenever you're riding on an electric. Now, the government regulates the amount of power that a machine is allowed to consume and still qualify as a bicycle. Anything more than 500 watts of nominal current, and you require a license and insurance to ride the machine. Now, I'd like to show you an example of two different stators. Now, this is the piece that sits inside any brushless e-bike motor. This is an example of a stator that we used several years ago on much smaller and more modest bikes. And indeed, it's the same stator that's found today on many, many brands of e-scooter. It's a 500 watt winding, the same as our own. But this here is an example of our Motorino CCT drive. That's the continuous current and torque drive. Now, when you take a look at them, you can see obviously that the width of the electromagnets is a great difference. And although they're both 500 watt windings, they actually consume very different peak currents. Now, it's a little confusing, but you must understand that a brushless motor has both its continuous or nominal draw and its peak draw. And the government regulates the nominal or continuous draw of the motor. Both of these are 500 watt motors. But whereas this has a 750 watt peak, our CCT motor has a 1600 watt peak. And what that allows you to do is carry much heavier loads at much steeper hills. So when you need that power, the bike will provide it, and you won't have to Flintstones your bike, as I call it, Flintstones your bike up any hills. You can see the motor in action on our demonstration stand here. This is the winding. Of course, it's enclosed completely in the rear wheel. This is the controller. Again, a piece of technology you'll find only on our Motorino scooters. And this switch right here under the throttle is what I wanted to show you. This allows the rider to tailor the performance of the motor to whatever the riding conditions are. So in its current state right now, the bike's in what we call the economy mode, where it draws a very modest amperage. Under a full load, it'll only draw 12 amps. You won't have the power you need to go as quickly as you can, but you will cover much greater distance. Click that switch into the center position, and we're now in the high torque mode. And this motor can take a great load and climb much, much steeper hills at lower RPM without bogging down. And on the inside, you have the high-speed mode, and now I use the term relatively, of course, because all e-bikes are limited to 32 kilometers an hour. But in the high-speed mode here, we use approximately 20 amps to achieve a continuous speed of 32 kilometers an hour on level ground. So if you have any other questions about the CCT motor, you can find a full write-up about the technology on our website. Thanks.